Basically, the breakdown is a reverse bias phenomena. Breakdown happens in reverse bias, okay, not in forward bias. So when a PN junction is a reverse bias and you know the current is very small and you are increasing the reverse voltage, that means in this direction you are increasing the reverse voltage minus P. Okay, so this is the forward characteristics, this is the reverse characteristics, and after some voltage you will observe there is a sudden change in the current. The current flowing through the diode, okay, this suddenly changes. Okay, so initially it is a very small, okay, or increases little bit. After that, after application of this much amount of voltage, for example, okay, so you neglect this parameter, this voltage, okay, what will happen? There is a rapid change in the diode current. Okay, so then we can say the diode operates in the breakdown region. The diode is in a breakdown region. Okay, this is the basic definition of breakdown. Just remember this part. Okay. Now there are two types of breakdown. Lots of noise. There are two types of breakdowns occurs in a PN junction diode. Okay, first one is avalanche breakdown and second one is Zener breakdown. So first one is avalanche and second one is a Zener. Okay, so what is the key difference between them? Both are breakdown. In both cases you will get a leakage, a reverse current, a high amount of reverse current will flow. So what is the difference between them? So let us see. So first check those terms carefully. Thermally generated carrier initiate this breakdown. Okay, thermally generated carrier initiate the breakdown. That means the avalanche breakdown initiated by the thermally generated carriers. So what is thermally generated carrier? The carriers, okay, which we are getting due to the due to the temperature effect, some of the covalent bonds are broken and we are getting some carrier. So that is basically thermally generated carrier. Okay. Now, when you are applying a sufficiently high reverse voltage, what will happen? The electric field also increases. Okay. When you are applying a large amount of reverse voltage, what will happen? The electric field across junction, the electric field also increases. Okay. And the thermally generated carriers, see how the breakdown takes place. The thermally generated carriers, of course, they are few in number because some of the covalent bonds are broken and only a few number of thermally generated carriers are there. Those thermally generated carriers gain high energy from the high electric field. Due to the presence of this high electric field, what will happen? Those carriers absorb energy from that electric field region and their energy became very high and they are termed as the hot carrier because their energy is very high. Okay, those carriers are termed as hot carrier. Okay, now those hot carriers, now what will happen? Okay, that, and of course they are moving randomly and that some collision event takes place with the covalent bonds present and some of the covalent bonds are broken and again you will get a new set of electron hole pair. Try to understand, it's a completely different thing. So initially we have a few number of carrier that is due to the thermal effect. They are called thermally generated carrier. They absorb energy from the high electric field region. Why high electric field? Because we are applying high reverse voltage. We are applying high reverse voltage. Okay, and they became hot carrier. Those hot carrier, okay, they collide with the nearest covalent bonds and a few covalent bonds are broken. And again, a few set of electron hole pairs are generated. Let, for example, initially we have 5 number of carrier. They attack some other covalent bonds and later 20 number of carriers are available. Then what will happen in the next stage? Those 20 carriers, okay, the carrier generated in the second stage, they are called secondary carriers. I am giving one name, secondary carrier. Okay, then what will happen? Again, they gain high energy from the electric field. Okay, and again they attack some other covalent bonds. Okay, so initially 5 carrier was there, then let 20 carrier, and again they attack other covalent bonds. Let 100 number of carriers are generated from there. Okay, Now see, this is just like a multiplication process. It's a cumulative process. It's a multiplication process. Starts from a very low count, then it increases exponentially. Okay, so it's just like a multiplication process. And within a short time span, large number of covalent bonds are broken and a large number of free carriers are available. And when you have a free carrier, so of course they can conduct current and a breakdown takes place. Large amount of current will flow through the diode and a breakdown takes place. So this whole process is called impact ionization. The carrier generation process is called impact ionization or avalanche multiplication process. Okay, so initially the breakdown process started by the thermally generated carrier. They attack few covalent bond. Secondary electron hole pairs are generated. They gain high energy from the electric field. Again, a new set of carriers are generated. So this process, okay, will occur in a cumulative way, and within a short time span, a large number of carriers are available and they can conduct current. So that's why you are getting a large amount of reverse current. Okay. And generally, the avalanche breakdown occurs at a low doped PN junction when the doping concentration is less and the breakdown voltage is higher, typically more than 100 volt, 500 volt, maybe 1000 volt, depending upon the doping concentration. Okay. Impact ionization. So what is Zener breakdown? When a PN junction diode is heavily doped, see, we are using one term, degenerately doped. Degenerately means it is a heavily doped. The semiconductor doping, degenerate semiconductor means heavily doped semiconductor. Okay, remember. And non-degenerate means slightly doped semiconductor. Okay. So when the PN junction is heavily doped, the concentration is in the order of 10 to the power 20 or maybe 10 to the power 19 per cubic centimeter. So then you can say it is a degenerately doped semiconductor. Okay, and due to the presence of this heavy amount of impurity, what will happen that you can easily break the covalent bond by applying a small value of electric field. By applying a small value of electric field, you can easily break the covalent bond, because when you are adding more impurities, what will happen? The bonding energy value reduces. The covalent bond energy reduces, and you can easily break the covalent bond by applying some nominal value of energy that you can supply using electric field. So here the covalent bonds are broken directly, not in any collision process. Okay, there is no such thermally generated carriers. Of course, thermally generated carriers are there because we are working with the reverse bias condition, but they are not responsible for this Zener breakdown. They are present inside diode, but they are not responsible, they are not related to this Zener breakdown phenomena. So here the covalent bonds are broken directly, okay, by applying a small amount of reverse voltage, that is electric field. So direct rupture of covalent bond takes place here. See, the direct rupture of covalent bonds creates a new electron hole pair, and of course you will get a current. So unlike avalanche breakdown, so Zener breakdown happens at relatively low reverse voltage. It's typically less than 12 volt. Even the 3.3 volt Zener diode is also available. That's the breakdown voltage. Breakdown happens at 3.3 volt. Okay, and the diodes we are using for that, using this property of Zener breakdown, that is called Zener diode. So this is all about avalanche and Zener breakdown process. I hope you understand that basic difference between avalanche and Zener breakdown. Now if we summarize those things, what is avalanche breakdown, what is Zener breakdown, and all those things. Thermally generated carrier. Okay. So, and another point you may add, the avalanche or carrier multiplication takes place, the impact ionization, that is carrier multiplication, takes place, and here no such carrier multiplication.